Fall on the Farm, mini hayrack rides through Mr. Corny's Mystic Meadow, adults $150, children 3 to 12, $1. Includes mini hayrack rides, Play Barn, Iowa Proud Barn, and 2-acre corn maze. See how fast you can find your way out.
I've done my homework. I read the articles. I existed in the state of Iowa.
Yeah,
I voted in the last election.
It's really your lived experience that counts, right?
Yeah, for sure.
As in all things, we must defer to lived experience, and that's what makes Rock Hard Caucus such an authentic product.
Mm-hmm.
Is our lived experience.
The fact that we've both lived in Iowa for our entire lives. Mm-hmm. Mostly, I guess not you.
Oh,
I've lived in Iowa my entire life.
I knew you were going to remind everyone of my period of exile. Welcome back, everyone, to Rock Hard Caucus. This is our 223rd episode. It's November 9th. I guess I should start with an apology to our listeners because I have to work today, and I am probably just going to dump this episode out before I go to work. So it may not be as well edited as you're accustomed to. But good news is Evan has a new microphone.
Justin provided me with a new used microphone. And so I'm back up to tip-top podcasting shape.
Mm-hmm. So Evan will sound probably better than last week. But there may be...
I think so.
You might hear some, like...
I fidget
like
a
that.
lot. I don't know. I probably have like ADHD, autism. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I like to fidget. I have a lot of fidget toys. I have like a little cat that it's like a little 3D printed cat that has like little sections in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a bunch of pens and fucking cans and shit on my desk. Anyway.
Yeah.
November 9th. That's today. Something happened on November 4th that we should talk about for a little bit. The election.
Our favorite thing, elections.
Yeah. You said you voted. How was your experience?
It was wonderful. It was it's very easy for me because I just voted at the school right next door. I walk over most of the time. Mm-hmm. I had dinner plans that night, so I actually drove over and then went on my way. But it was very pleasant. Honestly, I never have a problem voting. I don't like that they have to read your ID and you have to read back your address. I know I talked to someone who was like, I have to like rehearse. I have to like read my license plate in the parking lot before I go in. So like, I don't accidentally tell them like my current address instead of what's on my driver's license. But I don't really know. Okay. Like, I don't know. I was like, what, you think like if you like stumble up, like they're going to like be like, no, you can't vote. Like,
yeah, you're faking.
You gave us fraud. A different address. You're not allowed to vote. Sorry.
Yeah.
You get one chance to get your address right.
Obviously, I resent the voter ID restrictions that our shithead Secretary of State, Paul Pate, implemented when he was elected fucking a decade ago. So when I go in and they ask for my license, I hand it to them. And then when they ask me to confirm the information on there, I speak like very mumbly so they can't really hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I make them work for it because it's their fault, the poll workers.
Yeah, it's definitely their fault.
They like doing that. They get so much sick pleasure from,
Yeah, I can tell those people are really, really mean people at heart. Like, anyone who like volunteers to do something like that is probably like a really bad person.
They're like the foot soldiers upholding American imperialism, if you ask me.
Yeah, and electoralism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it weren't for them, they're counter-revolutionaries. That's what they are.
I know, right?
Well, yeah, just imagine if they all refused to help with, the facilitation of these sham elections we have. The government would be forced to give up.
It would be shut down even. Yeah. Government would just stop functioning.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting that we had an election while the government is shut down. So what do we need the government for, huh?
Yeah. That's a good question.
All right, so here on Rock Hard Caucus, we interviewed a few candidates for local election. Katie Freeman, Ryan Swenka running in Coralville. That's where I live. Dan Stevenson running for Iowa City School Board, and Clara Reinen running for Iowa City Council. We were very locally focused for this cycle.
Yeah.
Just only people that can drive to my house and talk to me were on the show for this election.
Yeah.
And we went 1 for 4, which maybe is better than we usually do.
I would say, yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah, is Katie the first? No, Oliver won the special election earlier this year, so that's one success on our record. Now Katie Freeman is another. We talked to John Green after he had already won the Democratic primary, so that was kind of a shoo-in. I wouldn't count that one.
Yeah.
And then I guess Amy, there was some like incumbent Democrat in the House that I talked to. Anyway, 1 for 4. 25% of our interviewees succeeded in the election. Let me give you a little bit of data, because I've been wonking out this week reading all
about
the numbers.
data. Oh, yeah.
I was pretty invested in what was happening in Coralville this year because, our incumbent council and mayor let this like flock safety shit happen with our police chief. And so there's a groundswell of like anger about that and like mistrust of the people in office right now. But the incumbents who are running for re-election for the council, Mike Knudsen and Hai Win, they were like the most opposed to Flock in the recent meetings. So like the anger is not really directed at them. So I didn't expect that to be like a big upheaval. But the mayoral race, Lori Goodrich, who is on council now and is like stepping up into the mayor role, she has been fully complicit with everything that the police department wants to do, like totally complicit and complacent, doesn't care really. Like it's pretty clear from her statements and meetings that it's like, yeah, I trust all these people to do whatever is in the best interest of the city. Not really an active participant in any discussions about this. So I was kind of hoping that people would go the other way, but she's been embedded in local government for like decades. So she's got a real, familiarity bonus. People know who she is. My friend Ryan Swank is a newcomer to politics, doesn't really have the same background as her, making inroads with the power players. There's basically a real estate cabal that thinks that they own the whole town. And they succeed a lot because they have money and influence.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah. So Ryan got about 42% of the vote to Lori Goodrich's 58%. And in a low turnout election in a relatively small city, that amounts to a difference of less than 600 votes. So not a close race, but also not a lot of people voting. So I don't know. Is there more we could have done? Maybe not. I don't know. I think 42% is not bad for a guy who's never done politics and entered the race 2 months ago. That's an accomplishment. I would rather he won, but I think that, we did our best.
Yeah.
And then in the council race, the incumbents that I mentioned, they ran away with it. And then Katie Freeman, our friend, got the third place. And so they are now going to be on the council, which is that's a big improvement. I think the most interesting thing that I looked at, though, in the Coralville data, we're split up into technically 9 precincts. The 9th precinct is it's just like one retirement home, so you can't really see it on the map.
I love
but
that.
the rest of the precincts are like chunks of the city, of course. And if you're not familiar with Coralville, Interstate 80 runs through the middle of the city, and there's 4 precincts south of the interstate, 4 north of the interstate. And every precinct south of Interstate 80, Ryan Swenka, he won.
Yeah. So all the places closer to Iowa City, and then all the places like further out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, right. And yeah, Evan, you can see the map that I put here in our document. Those are much bigger precincts, meaning they're more spread out.
More spread out, more suburban.
The denser ones
Though
where
it is
people
Coralville.
live in apartments and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're talking about a major city, but it is like on a smaller scale, the same situation everywhere.
Yep.
That goes on everywhere. The north side is more like kind of urban sprawl, suburby, housing, like big developments and shit.
All the houses look exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah. And then south is like older homes, apartment buildings, small businesses, stuff like that, where, the I would say normal people live.
Normal.
So I don't know. I found that to be pretty revealing that he won a majority of South Coralville. And North Coralville went for the old establishment, you could say. So maybe there's something to learn from that. I don't know. Focus all of our efforts on South Coralville in the future. That's where the spirit of change resides, in Coralville.
Oh, you're gonna give up on changing the hearts and minds of North Coralville residents?
Well, you know what? I'm not going to entirely, because that 7th precinct that you see there, a lot of normal people live there as well. So I'm not going to totally discount them. And it was closer in that one, I think, than the other north precincts. All right, Iowa City, man, they apparently love incumbents, because the Bruce Teague and Megan Alter on the city council, they ran away with it.
Yeah.
It was a great night for incumbents in Iowa, it seems like, in general.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that's because it's not a national election, like you said. Very low turnout. It's like the diehard old money is out voting.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. If you're like a big fan of voting, why would you be a fan of voting if you didn't love the people serving in the government already?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's harder to get people who hate voting are probably the people who hate the government.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think that's very true.
Yeah.
I think that's very true.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a shocker with Clara. I think that she like worked really hard on this campaign, and I believe in her vision of the future much more than I do anyone else who was running, but it just didn't work out.
Has the Commie Clara account been updated?
Not when I checked yesterday. Do not vote for Clara Reinen on Instagram is the handle. I believed in Commie Clara, and I was hoping that after the success of Oliver Wyline earlier this year, I was hoping that we were living through a sort of like anarcho-communist wave here in the Iowa City area, but it wasn't enough this time. She did earn 3,622 votes, which is a good number of people. But unfortunately, if you look at the number one winner, Bruce Teague, incumbent mayor of Iowa City, 7,378, which is more than double.
Yeah.
They love him, I guess. And I mentioned Dan Stevenson running for school board, who I interviewed a few months ago. He got a close 4th place. Again, incumbents did very well in that race. Ruthina Malone and Jane Finch got almost 11,000 votes each. And then Dan was like 250 votes behind Jennifer Horn Fraser, who won the 3rd seat. So, also, he did a good job and almost made it. I guess what I'm wondering is, do you think that coming on this podcast helped or hurt him? What do you think, Evan?
I mean, I don't know how important this podcast really is in the grand scheme of things. Sorry to raid on both of our parades. I mean, you're the one out here actually interviewing candidates, and I'm just sitting here and making jokes. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's more at a local level, you can influence things more. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't think you do either.
No. Someone does. If you know the answer, please reach out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the Des Moines thing. I was going to say the other nice thing about voting is that there's only like 3 things to vote for this time. So it's just like, it took me a minute. And the Des Moines public school bond proposal passed like 75%, needed 60% to pass. And I was a little surprised at that. Just like the margin on it, considering all of the stuff that's happening. But it turns out that people who send their kids to public schools want to support public schools. And, I mean, I think that's probably the main reason why it passed is, I mean, you don't like, given all the stuff that's happening at the state level, pulling funds out of public schools. I mean, I think a lot of people wanted to stand up and support, that. And then Andy Montalvo Martinez came way closer than I think anyone expected, got 47% of the vote against Mike Simonson, which was, I mean, hard fought. That was a district race, right? So it was just between the two of them? It was an at-large race. Oh, it was at-large, okay. But it was just two candidates? Statewide. It's just 2 candidates, yep. Yeah. So citywide. Yep, and Mike Simonson obviously is an incumbent and has a lot of money and a lot of connections. Right. So, but even still, it's a bit promising that such a newcomer got so close, and a young person. I mean, yeah, that's also a big point of contrast between Ryan Swanka and Lori Goodrich here for Coralville mayor. Is a difference of 30 plus years. Speaking of that school bond thing, though, you hear about what happened in Cedar Rapids? I did, yeah. They were trying to pass a school bond as well. The Cedar Rapids School Board, again, a situation where it's got to get 60% of the vote. It got 59.3% of the vote. That's bullshit. Who said this 60%? I don't know enough about local government. 60%? That's silly. That's more than half. That's not right. Yeah, more than half the people voted yes, so that's a win. Yeah, I don't know what the parameters are there, where it's like what types of things have to get an additional threshold. Like, it's a big problem with the jail stuff down here. Yeah. But it's like, if it's a significant enough investment of taxpayer money, then you gotta, I don't know, they want a larger majority to approve of that. And I think like the Cedar Rapids School Board over the past few years has lost a lot of trust of the public, because they're just like, their plans do not seem to make sense for the greater good of like the majority of the community. Like, we're going to tear down the school in your neighborhood. We're going to invest more money in these like schools like further out of town. It seems like a pretty clear like class issue. Like the wealthier schools get more attention, and the older schools, like, whatever, you can just take the fucking bus. It's not our problem. Yeah. It's so I think that a lot of people are not happy with the school district for a variety of reasons. And so it narrowly failed. Cedar Rapids has a bad history of not voting for the common good, unfortunately. I remember there was that whole, after the flood in 2008, there was a sales tax thing, which, I mean, sales tax, not the biggest fan of that as a way to fund things, because it's regressive. But speaking of, all the towns in Johnson County passed a local option sales tax the other night. Yeah. I mean, it's, I guess some of the reason they want that is because it's like, it taxes everybody any economic activity. So it includes out-of-staters and people who aren't in the community. Yeah. They can raise money off of them. But either way, Cedar Rapids, I don't know. I remember just that, living in Cedar Rapids at the time, and them not passing that. It was like after the flood, and there's like all these improvements. Like, they neglected funding like streets for so long. And but now I guess they have a casino coming, so that's going to be a big a big tax that'll provide some incentive to like
maintenance for that part of town too. Is like, you got to keep the streets in good shape so people can drive back and forth between their homes and the casino.
Yeah, right. Bustling downtown Cedar Rapids.
They already have the Pickle Palace. Now, what do they need a casino for?
Pickle Palace.
So the school board thing in the school bond failed in Cedar Rapids, and I wanted to mention this old friend of the show, State Senator Molly Donahue. Remember her?
Yeah, she had the Facebook Memoji account where she was like, it wasn't under her name, right? Or
I think it was a Twitter burner.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, she was running an obviously fake account to like get into fights in the comments and stuff, and never admitted that it was her. But once people started calling it out, I think the account was deleted, so it was pretty clearly her.
Oh, that's how they figured it out. It's because the Memoji was the same or something.
Yeah, it's the one that she had been using on her Facebook posts under her real name. I think that was the connection.
That's funny.
Well, after the school bond failed, I'm reading from a KCRG article here from the 6th, earlier this week. An Iowa lawmaker and longtime educator has called on Cedar Rapids school board members to resign, citing trust, communication, and leadership issues. Senator Molly Donahue wants board members Cindy Garlock, David Tominski, and Jen Newman to step down from their positions. Donahue claims the recent bond failure wasn't just about money, but trust, communication, and leadership. Let me read what she wrote here, a little bit of it. There's a very official-looking letter she sent them on State Senate letterhead. So this is like official communications from an elected official asking other elected officials to quit their jobs. So I always got to support that. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. I wish she would send it to, like every other one of her colleagues. Please resign. I mean, Kim Reynolds should resign. She's not running again anyway. Like,
yeah, might as well.
Get out of there.
Let Ms. Cornaway take over for the remainder of your term. Molly Donahue said, I have an obligation to speak plainly when the well-being of our students and schools is at stake. The failure of the Cedar Rapids school bond, after years of planning, significant public dollars, and countless opportunities to engage the community, is a clear and undeniable message. This board's remaining leadership has lost the confidence of the people it serves. I don't think she mentions this in here. But another thing I just remembered about the school district is they were trying to like totally reorient the like district curriculum towards this sort of like career preparedness thing for all high school students or something.
All like the STEAM Academy stuff.
Yeah, and when they were holding like public town halls about it, everyone seemed to be in opposition to this plan coming down from the district. Very confusing.
Like, there's like the thing too where they were like having like kids go from like one school to another to take like different like career oriented classes or something. Yeah, which was just sounded like, I don't know, kind of a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, but it probably saves money, right? That's probably why.
I don't know.
The three of you have had ample time, resources, and authority to deliver a transparent, community-supported plan for our district. Instead, the process has been marked by poor communication, insufficient transparency, and a persistent disconnect from the educators, parents, and residents whose support was essential. This breakdown did not happen overnight. It is the result of repeated failures to build trust, seek genuine community input, and provide clear, consistent information. Our students now face years of delay on critical improvements, delays that fall directly on your leadership. At this point, the path forward for Cedar Rapids cannot be repaired by the same approach or the same decision makers. The district needs a reset. The community chose 3 new ones this past election, but that's not enough. And then, she calls for them to resign. And I think she makes an important point there, which is that despite the bad leadership, despite the lack of transparency, the lack of a good, clear plan for the future, it's still a disaster that this school bond failed because at least then they would have money to invest in the future. And now it's like what the fuck happens now? Like, shit just continues getting worse. And I think it's fair to blame the people in charge. People should be more comfortable doing that. Blaming the people who make bad decisions.
Yeah, I mean, respect to Molly Donahue.
Yeah.
You can't accuse her of not caring,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, she, I laugh at some of her online antics, but like, she's closer to me than like most elected officials because of her willingness to, go off like that. And then I did find another KCRG report. They got a follow-up from the chair of the school board, Cindy Garlock, who was mentioned in that resignation demand, and they interviewed her briefly.
I would love to sit down and talk to her, and I wish, obviously, that she had talked to me or either of the board members that she's called out. As elected officials, we do represent the community, and certainly Senator Donahue understands that, and I welcome that conversation. I'm not going to be distracted by things that are divisive. It's not how I operate. I'm here to move this district forward.
Boo. Boring.
I wish she would have told me in person that she wanted me to resign.
Yeah, I wish she wouldn't have made a big public thing about it so everyone wouldn't know and I wouldn't be publicly embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why what she did is cool. Is because you're not able to hide it from the public. And I like I'm not going to be distracted by things that are divisive.
Oh, yeah. Where have I heard that before?
One more thing about the local election that I wanted to mention. We talked a few weeks ago about towns that like weren't going to have any names on the ballot.
Yeah.
One of them was Oxford, which is not far from me. They had an election for mayor and then I think for 3 city council seats, all of which nobody like filed to be on the ballot for. And one particularly interesting result there that I got off the Johnson County website, City of Oxford for city council to fill a vacancy. This was, again, no one on the ballot. Kyle Volk received 7 write-ins. Adam Roberts received 7 write-ins. 7. That's it. 7 people.
Yeah. Something similar happened in Carlisle, Iowa, which is pretty close to where I live. It's like a southern, like on the southeast side of Des Moines. It had 3 votes for mayor. All, I guess there was only one guy running, but there was 3 votes for mayor. And then there were 4 votes for city council, and one of them was a write-in. So I guess one person apparently cast a vote where they did not vote for anyone for mayor and then just wrote in a candidate for council member, which I don't know if that's, I guess it could be the different ballot, but either way, that's very funny to me. Cause like Carlisle is like, it has like 4,000 people. Like it's not like
that's crazy. Yeah, 3 people bothered to vote.
I mean, this is directly from Polk County elections, like on their official website. So I was like, "What? That's crazy." 3 people.
I just love that
if you organized one family to all cast write-in votes, could have won.
Yeah, this guy's going to be the mayor, and he doesn't even have like any friends.
Yeah, for real.
I just love that, like, a battle of write-in votes ended up with a tie in Oxford. Like, what are the odds that you end up with a tie? And so it says the Board of Supervisors will draw lots at the canvas to select the winner. That's democracy in action. No one on the ballot, a tie vote of write-ins, and then it's just like random chance decides who gets the seat.
Coin flip. Caucus. I mean, they should make it a coin flip, make it consistent with the caucus.
Yeah, and we should have video of it, and we should all like go crazy just analyzing every frame of the video.
Yeah, it was good times.
Okay, let's expand our focus now to statewide. Next year, we're going to probably elect a new governor. I say probably, but I don't think there's any chance we won't. But hey, who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the future? Maybe we'll decide we're done with this and not vote at all. But yeah, there's some people running for governor, including now officially Randy Feenstra. congressman from the 4th district, is now officially running for governor after several months of obviously running for governor, but apparently not like legally officially running until this week. So I know that we've already played like 2 announcement videos from him that he was running for governor, but now here's the real one. There's a new one where it's like, it's real now. I'm really running. Let's watch that together.
In Iowa, the crops grow tall and strong. Randy Feenstra is no different. Born and raised here in rural Iowa and instilled with working class values. Feenstra has always stood tall to fight for his home. That's why he authored the largest tax cut in Iowa history. But he didn't stop there. Randy Feenstra partnered with President Trump to take us to new heights by passing the largest tax cut in American history for working class families, ending taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security.
When he said working class family, the camera focused on a child sitting on a toy tractor. Just a weird detail. So we're about halfway through this. Have you noted how many times that narrator has said the word tall or large? It's like every sentence.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressively vapid.
Keeping men out of girls' sports.
Oh, boy.
Fuck off.
Stopping China from buying our land.
Buying our land.
Tale. It's simply just true. As our governor, Randy Feenstra will always stand tall. But Rob Sand will say anything to climb the political ladder. He pretends to be one of us, but secretly calls himself extremely liberal.
Okay, I want to pause there. For one thing I want to note first. All this shit about Randy being tall, and then we have the sharp cut to the negative part of the ad. This is like so you've seen this a million times before. This is the style, right? He's fitting the template of a political ad. And as soon as he starts talking about Rob, he will do anything to climb the ladder, right?
Oh.
Which Randy doesn't even need the ladder because he's so tall. This Rob guy, he's standing on the damn step stool trying to be governor.
Rob Sand's pretty tall too, though, right? We've talked about this before.
I don't remember where this was, but I saw a post implying that Rob is actually the same height or taller than Randy Feenstra.
Oh, and I think
that's a rumor that I think I want to help spread, is that actually Rob Sand is like an inch taller than Randy Feenstra.
Yeah.
Because it would be very funny if it's true. You know, like if you make all of your ads about how tall you are and then your opponent actually is slightly taller, that's very funny.
Yeah. Rob Sand needs to come out to the debate wearing like Ron DeSantis's platform shoes. Just so he can appear like an inch taller on camera.
Yeah. The Frankenstein boots. Okay, so in the ad, they said Rob Sand secretly refers to himself as extremely liberal, and there's a citation on the screen of where they got that quote, and it's from a 2003 issue of the Brown Daily Herald, like his college newspaper. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I don't mind, unfair attacks on Rob Sand, obviously, but a student newspaper from 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, like, I do think that Rob has changed since then. I don't think he is extremely liberal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You get older, you become more conservative.
That's what happened to him, apparently.
That's why he endorsed and chaired Joe Biden's presidential campaign, and why radical liberals like Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren endorsed him. Because the real
radical liberals.
Yeah, Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren have endorsed Rob Sand. Did you hear?
Wow.
You may not have seen the tiny text at the bottom, but that's referring to his 2018 race for auditor. That's when Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren endorsed him. That's when they decided to endorse in a statewide race in Iowa, leading up to the big 2020 caucus. I think that's probably why they did an endorsement for a Democrat in the state at that time.
Yeah.
Probably didn't really know much about him.
Rob Sand is a radical liberal. He supported anti-police radicals, higher taxes, weak borders, men and girls' bathrooms, sex changes for minors, and misallocated millions of tax dollars. Now, he's hiding his record. Liberal liar Rob Sand only sinks low. But Randy Feenstra always stands tall for Iowa. It's time to take Iowa to new heights with Randy Feenstra for governor.
I gotta know who does the voiceover for that.
Yeah, very, very weird ad.
Randy Feenstra.
This is your, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Rob Sand, really, he's scaring the conservatives. I mean, you have your campaign rollout and half your ad is attacking Rob Sand, who isn't even the candidate yet.
Right, yeah. I mean, come on, he's gonna be the candidate,
I know. But still, like, it's pretty unprecedented to do that, like, this early in.
Yeah.
Go negative that soon.
Yeah, Laura Bellin wrote a pretty good piece, like, analyzing this ad, and she talks about that a little bit, how it is very uncommon for, like, your campaign launch video to be, like, half about how much you hate your opponent. It is pretty wild to do that. What an astonishing, like, empty ad. Like,
yeah,
is nobody involved in the decisions for this campaign? Nobody thought that this maybe comes across as, like, stupid? Like, to make
also
every sentence like, he's fucking tall, he's going to new heights, he's large, he's big.
Yeah. Also, Laura pointed out, and it's also interesting, is that he doesn't speak in the ad. He doesn't say a single word.
Yeah.
They just have this, like, weird southern sounding voiceover. Like, is that really a great way to introduce yourself as a candidate? I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Here, I'm going to read a little bit from Laura's piece here. Many social media commenters remarked that this narrator, who says Feenstra was born and raised here in rural Iowa, doesn't sound like an Iowan or even a Midwesterner. No one could quite place the accent. Texas? Oklahoma? It reminds me of, like, an old David Cross bit from, like, the Bush era. I think this is, like, early 2000s, where he talks about accents and how some of them, like, transcend geography. Like, the redneck accent and gay voice are the two that he refers to in the bit.
True.
It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're this kind of person, you sound like this.
It's true. You know, Larry the Cable Guy's from Nebraska.
Right. And that's his real voice. He's not exaggerating. He's not playing a character.
Yeah, not at all.
I do like her bit here about the Rob Sand part. False attacks right out the gate. Voiceovers are more common in negative ads. Sure enough, about halfway in, the Feenstra ad pivots to spend more than 30 seconds attacking the Democratic frontrunner. The viewer sees black and white footage of Sand. I've rarely seen a launch video go negative unless it's for a candidate running against an incumbent. That makes sense. So they're kind of, weird. They're kind of treating Rob like he's already the presumed governor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's projecting weakness, right?
It absolutely is, yeah. And yeah, this Feenstra ad, it gave me the feeling of, like, oh, Rob might win. Like, this might happen.
As
I've
much
already
as
kind
we've
of
talked
felt
about
that
him,
way, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not ruling that out. Especially, I mean, it's not a good crop of candidates for the Republicans. Like, Feenstra, I think, is the only one who has, like, money.
Yeah.
You know?
He has money, but he's not particularly well liked among the base.
Right.
And I'm going to say more about that soon. But a little bit more from Laura's piece here. Almost every hit is false or misleading. I couldn't find the 2003 article from the Brown University newspaper in which college student Sand purportedly called himself extremely liberal. So you can't even dig up the article to prove that it's actually in there. In Iowa Democratic circles, he isn't perceived to be on the left wing of the party. I did find some columns Sand wrote for the student newspaper, including one from 2005, sharply criticizing the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that allowed the use of eminent domain to seize property for private projects. Now, that's an interesting thing from Rob's past, that probably should be more present in today's campaign in this environment. That's an issue. Like, if he pointed to that as like, I've been saying this for 20 years, and then contrast that with Randy, like, Feenstra is losing a lot of Republican votes on that issue.
Yeah, totally.
And the fact that he was writing about this in a student newspaper, for a guy who I don't think either of these guys, to me at least, project authenticity.
No.
But if he could point to something so far in his past and like try to claim that like I've been consistent on this issue forever, I do think that would help him. So he should be thanking Laura Bellin for digging this up. And there's a link to the article. It's still available at browndailyherald.com. I don't recall Sand supporting or endorsing Black Lives Matter protests. He definitely never called for defunding the police.
I don't recall that either.
This is very funny, though. So on the screen, while we were watching the ad, it just said, like, it gave a date and said Newsweek as the source for Rob, like, supporting defunding the police. And Laura writes here, the source for that claim is a Newsweek article from August 2nd, 2021, a story about the state paying $5,000 each to Black Lives Matter protesters whom state troopers unconstitutionally banned from the Iowa Capitol in 2020. So what's Rob Sand have to do with this? Sand voted to approve the settlement agreement in his role on the state appeal board, as did the other members of that panel. So it's not even like this is a unanimous vote to pay out a legal settlement.
Yeah. I'm guessing he must have made some statement that was like, you know, like, we don't like having to pay out these settlements. So like, police should maybe behave a little bit better. We should
I wouldn't
maybe
be surprised
not.
if he said something
Yeah, I mean,
like,
he does settle.
Even-handed about that.
I mean, he does like press releases whenever they vote on anything.
Yeah,
like
I've
there
seen
was
a few of those
another
from
thing that just came out the other day. What was it?
I remember one recently that he's talked about at his town halls where they paid out because like a state representative was sexually harassing his staff or something, and he voted against the settlement or something. I forget.
Oh, there was like a FOIA one that just came through where there was like a settlement for not disclosing like public documents that people requested. And he said something about how like the people who didn't disclose the documents should personally have to pay the settlement instead of taxpayers, which I mean, it's pretty in line with what he's a taxpayer's watchdog, as he likes to call himself.
Yeah, that was the same rationale for not paying the settlement to the sexual harassment victim or whatever, was like, why should the taxpayers have to pay? This guy who did the bad stuff should have to pay. You know, I can't really argue with that, but she's got to get that money from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's some stuff from Simon Conway in this Bleeding Heartland article that I wanted to... Oh, you listened to the interview?
A little bit. I listened to the clip where he was asking about whether he would debate any of the Republican candidates, like Republican candidates.
This is baffling. So there's a section in Laura's piece about how bad Randy Feenstra is. And maybe not a section, but like a through line of the piece is that Randy is very bad at talking to the media, to voters, etc. Here, we'll get this. Conservative host Simon Conway asked Feenstra during a drive time WHO radio interview on October 30th, what took so long? Because Randy's been clearly running for governor for months, but now it's official. And Randy replied, I'll tell you what, when you're running for governor, when you want to lead this and take this state to new heights, right? You got to take it very, very, very seriously. He said he spent the last 4 months traveling to every corner of the state, talking to so many people about the issues and opportunities. The part about debating the other Republicans. Conway wanted to know whether Feenstra is up for debating the other Republicans running for governor. Randy said, I'll tell you what, Simon, we'll be working it out over the next several months and see how that all plays out. My whole focus right now... Conway interrupted to object to what he called a horribly political answer. I'll try to do that in Simon's accent. Horribly political answer. He tried again for a yes or no. Feenstra deflected. I tell you what, Simon. My focus is defeating Rob Sand. That's my bottom line focus. and delivering results and taking Iowa to new heights for our great state. That's got to be the focus for everyone. So that's twice that he said that to the interviewer. After the third attempt to get a straight answer on whether Feenstra would debate Republican opponents, he got this. Simon, we are looking at it. But I want to say again that all Republicans have got to be focused on defeating Rob Sand. That's got to be our central focus. I mean, he has said himself that he is an extreme liberal in a student newspaper 22 years ago. We've got to take him for his word on that. And then we've got to make sure that we take this state to new heights.
Oh, my God.
And that's what I want to do. Oh, man.
Yeah, and then Simon afterwards was like that was like one of the easiest questions like you could ask. Like, I mean, really, like, it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
not projecting competency or like, I mean,
if you compare
or authenticity at all, like, I just come on, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, if you compare this to Rob Sand's multiple appearances on the Simon Conway show, I mean, we could be in store for a Simon Conway endorsement of Rob Sand. Like, he seems to like him, and he likes that he's willing to throw trans people under the bus. So, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, Randy is also very into that. That got a couple mentions in his announcement ad. So, hey, it's a wash, I guess. Okay, let me read a little more from Laura. Good candidates know how to stay on message, but Feenstra takes canned talking points to an absurd level. During the last episode of the On Iowa Politics podcast, Jared McNett of the Sioux City Journal said New Heights came up at least 5 or 6 times in the roughly 5 minutes he talked to Feenstra. Tom Barton of the Cedar Rapids Gazette concurred that the candidate really leaned into the height references. So it's not just the ad itself. It's in direct conversations with journalists. Randy Feenstra is like repeatedly saying, I am tall. Vote for me. Like, is he trying to hypnotize us? What is this?
He must be doing cross promotion for the Kelsey brothers, because they have a podcast called New Heights. Like, he's just trying to subliminally get people to remember that podcast exists.
He's trying to get on there. He knows a lot of people listen to that.
Yeah, it's true.
McNett mentioned that he asked how Feenstra would continue Reynolds' approach as governor and what he would do differently. The candidate demurred, saying he appreciates Reynolds' time in office and that he wants to take the state to new heights. Barton broke in to say, this is Barton from the Gazette, to say that was the very first question he asked in his interview, and Randy responded the same way. Okay, this is pretty funny. In addition to being tall, Feenstra wants to be known as a workhorse. It's not enough for the candidate to repeat the message ad nauseum. Other Republicans have to regurgitate the same stale talking points. The campaign released this statement from Joni Ernst in early July. Randy Feenstra is a proven conservative who has delivered results for Iowa in Congress, and I know that he will take that same workhorse mentality to Des Moines. As governor, he will grow our economy, stand with law enforcement, and take Iowa to new heights. Something not pointed out there is grow as well. I think grow. That's also a height reference, I think.
Well, we all are going to die.
Oh, she also said that. The same week, Marionette Miller Meeks joined the chorus. Randy Feenstra is a strong and principled conservative who will stand with President Trump and take Iowa to new heights. Stand also, reference to height. I think that he needs to get to the point where every single word in every sentence is somehow referencing how tall he is. In an October 31st guest column for the Cedar Rapids Gazette, State Representative Craig Johnson praised Feenstra's workhorse mentality, adding, Randy Feenstra has a vision to take Iowa to new heights, and that's what our state needs. I would avoid the word vision because Randy Feenstra wears glasses, and you don't want to highlight a weakness of his, which are his eyes.
Also, I don't know about a workhorse mentality. I mean, workhorses just does whatever they're told to do by a human.
Yeah. In an Animal Farm, I seem to remember a horse. I think it's the horse who is just like I will work harder. I will take everyone's, burdens on myself. And that's portrayed as like a sad figure in the book, I think, is that, he wants everyone to do well. And so he is willing to ruin himself and his body for the sake of the community.
Yeah, I don't think Randy really does actually have a workhorse mentality.
No.
I don't think he's going to bring Iowa to new heights either.
No. But that's what he's got, is he's a tall man. So let's talk, you know what? Before I talk about the other Republicans running, because we do have a new one. A new Republican jumped in, aside from Randy Feenstra. I do want to just briefly mention a part of an Ezra Klein piece in the New York Times from, what was the date on this? November 2nd, so just a week ago. Let me read this. This is just an excerpt. In American politics, and this is from a piece called "This is the Way You Beat Trump and Trumpism." In American politics, power is not decided by a popular vote. Wait, is that right? In the Electoral College, in the House of Representatives, and particularly in the Senate, it is apportioned by place. Democrats don't just need to win more people, they also need to win more places. That will require a more pluralistic approach to politics. It will require the Democratic Party to see internal difference as a strength. That requires cultivation rather than a flaw that demands purification. Wow. New things I've never heard before.
Yeah, I read this whole piece, and it's just,
really? Wow. Yeah, I couldn't do that.
It's not worth reading. It's completely just rambling. I mean, you know where Ezra Klein lays if you have any knowledge of him.
Yeah, any
he's out here saying that Democrats need to run more pro-choice or pro-life candidates. And
Big tent. Well, the reason I bring it up is this next paragraph. Think of it this way. Remember, he wrote this 1 week ago, so before the elections on Tuesday. Think of it this way. If Zoran Mamdani wins the New York mayor's race running as a Democratic socialist in New York City, and Rob Sand wins the Iowa governor's race next year running as a moderate who hates political parties, did the Democratic Party move left or right? Neither. It got bigger. It found a way to represent more kinds of people in more kinds of places. That is the spirit it needs to embrace. Not moderation, not progressivism, but in the older political sense of the term, representation. So his two examples to demonstrate the point he's trying to make. Zoran Mamdani winning in New York City, which did happen, and Rob Sand winning the governor's race in Iowa, which may happen in a year. So we need to hold him to this. We need to remember this article for a full year to see if it actually supports the point he's trying to make. And I don't agree with the point he's trying to make. Like, you really think that the recipe for success is to not have any sort of ideological coherence? Not
for real.
I understand like coalition building and like having some, there's going in anything that's trying to be like a nationwide political party, there's going to be some internal disagreement on things, right? But what you're asking is like, what if there's no like program? What if there's no platform and it's just like a loose sort of collection of people from all over the place who I guess their platform is determined only by where they are and what they're surrounded by? Why is it a party then? Like, why be part of the same thing?
Yeah, it's an unwinnable thing for Democrats, I think. I mean, and Ezra Klein doesn't really want to talk about, or Rob Sand doesn't really want to talk about, money in politics to the level that it probably should be talked about. Because, I mean, they don't really want to, because they benefit from the money in politics in a way that a candidate like Zoran Mamdani doesn't. And also, I mean, power is not decided by popular vote, but I do guarantee that Zoran Mamdani has won more votes in this election than Rob Sand or any candidate in Iowa will win next year in the governor's race. So like, I don't know. I think it's insane to say that a candidate like Mamdani can't win in Iowa. And if the reason he can't win, it might just be because we don't have enough urban centers. Like, sure. I mean, but,
and racism and Red Scare bullshit. And
but I just hate the condescending shit. Like, oh, like places like Iowa will never fucking support a Democratic Socialist candidate because we're like too fucking redneck or something. It's like, Bernie Sanders won the primary.
Did very well.
Or the caucuses.
Very well here.
And Iowa has a history of like progressive liberal people winning. Like you have to go back a ways. But anyway.
Yeah. We are a red state now because the Democratic Party at the local, state, and national level ran as far away from that as they could.
Yeah.
That's the thing. From the 70s on, especially.
Yeah. The big thing in this piece is like Democratic Party moved too far left, or at least people perceive they did. But the thing is, like, a candidate like Mamdani is a very skilled political communicator in the way that, like, because he doesn't have to, like, triangulate the way that a candidate like Rob Sand is. He has values that you can easily identify, and he sticks to them. And he, is someone who doesn't have to, like, pretend to be someone that he's not to get elected.
Yeah. Yeah. And to Ezra's point here, I just want to reiterate. He says, if Zoran wins the mayoral race in New York City, which has happened, and Rob Sand wins the governor's race in Iowa, hasn't happened yet, we're supposed to take from this that the Democratic Party has gotten bigger and embraced the sort of diversity of representation that it needs to have to succeed broadly, right? Okay, so what are we supposed to learn if Zoran wins and Rob Sand loses? Are we supposed to take any conclusions from that? Because despite what we're saying about Randy Feenstra being a very weak candidate, I do think that is the most likely outcome right now. Because one of those things has already happened. The other one, like Rob Sand, is still an underdog, despite the weakness of Randy Feenstra. So the most likely outcome is that Zoran won and Rob Sand loses. What do we learn from that, Ezra Klein? Or are you going to forget you wrote this in a year? Yes. Okay, so let's talk as we got time for maybe one more thing. Iowa Republican Zach Lawn will run for governor in 2026, promising America First agenda. Zach Lawn?
No idea.
This man loves grass.
We got Zach Walls. We got Zach Lawn. We got a lot of guys named Zach whose last name happens to be a noun.
part of the home.
The
walls and the lawn. Brianne Pfaffenstiel at the Register wrote about this. Iowa Republican Zach Lawn announced he will run for governor, promising an Iowa First agenda. That agenda includes defending family farms by ensuring Iowans own Iowa farmland. So probably like a weird China thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Fighting against abortion and making Iowa healthy again. So that's
yes,
more likely an RFK Jr. thing than a like fighting pollution thing.
That was my impression. He also has 7 kids.
And
is definitely an evangelical, obviously with the abortion stuff. And I mean, 7 kids. I'm not doubting your bona fides on.
Oh yeah,
on that.
I believe big agriculture companies and big pharmaceutical companies have treated our farmers and our families not as neighbors, but as numbers. I believe it's far past the time we break up these monopolies, defend family farms, and demand accountability from corporations that harm our people. All right, I think that that's a message that hopefully resonates with some normal people. We should break up monopolies. A sort of anti-corporate stance. But the family farm, that's a myth. That stuff's over. Like,
yeah.
Lon and his wife Annie have 7 children. They have a family farm near Belle Plaine. There were people. I did not watch. So this was like a campaign launch event, like a speech, I think. I don't know if there's video of this, but I didn't see it. And there were a bunch of people wearing like MAGA hats. Oh, no, sorry. Donald Trump style red hats emblazoned with the phrase Iowa first in white. So they're fake Trump hats.
Yeah. Also just, I don't know. That's doing the America first thing right now in this political environment. You can't really see it as anything other than like a wink to like Nick Fuentes. Like, I mean, I don't like that.
No, of course not. Oh yeah, this is really the thing that I wanted to point out. Lon and his wife also co-founded Wonder, a non-traditional private school in Wichita that, according to local news reports, was funded by members of the Koch family. This is a guy who genuinely wants to fight back against the like corporate monopolies taking over the economy of Iowa, all the farms. They're buying out all the factory farms. But I certainly will take their money to found a private school in another state, Iowa first on my hat. I own a private school in Wichita called Wonder. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
He said he believes in school choice as a foundational principle of freedom, and he promised that teachers who, quote, push a political ideology in our classroom will not teach in our state. Fun. Lon also previously worked as the Montana State Director for Americans for Prosperity, a conservative political advocacy group backed by Charles Koch. Lon touts ties to RFK Jr. Okay, so that's where the Make Iowa Healthy Again comes from. So what I'm seeing in the Republican primary for governor for next year is Randy Feenstra, who is in Congress and has money, he's got the resources, right, to take over like the establishment lane of that conflict or whatever. And then we've also got this guy, Zach Lawn. We've got Eddie Andrews, Brad Sherman, and Adam Steen all taking up this like other lane of the Republican primary, which is like more populist, further right, anti-establishment, anti-eminent domain, just more aggressively right-wing crazy, religious, all that stuff. Like Feenstra sort of, he does pander to that a little bit, but less, right? Like he has mentions of like, don't let trans people play sports or go to the bathroom. Abortion is bad, but it's just like a short mention in a longer ad. Whereas these guys are about it, right? All four of them are like, I am as crazy as you. Vote for me.
Yeah.
So, like, what's going to happen is Feenstra is going to win. Like, he's not well liked, really, among the party, but he has the money and resources, and they're splitting the crank vote.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they're setting up the conditions needed for a Rob Sand small margin win next year. Like it's going to be within 1%, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's always interesting about like, you know, like the Ezra Klein article about like Democrats, struggling to find out like what they actually are. Like, it's the same with the Republicans. Like they are kind of in crisis too, in the same way, like that they have competing interests that they can't like both satisfy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they have things that they believe in and advocate, but I think what they're the crisis for them is kind of like Trump is the perfect avatar, and no one else can possibly replace him. Yeah.
But Trump is also like extremely divisive and extremely unpopular.
Yes.
Even among, like older, like self-styled Republicans. Like, not all of them are, I mean, a disturbing amount of them are fucking like, like all insane cranks, all in on Trump.
Yeah. And I mean, shit's really bad right now. Like, he's doing a bad job and making life worse for just about everyone. So I don't know. I mean, he's come back from being extremely unpopular before. I don't know, man. America sucks.
I don't either. America sucks.
America sucks.
I mean, I think Rob Sand is right. Both parties are bad.
Yeah, that's right.
I just don't think that ranked choice voting is going to do anything to fix that. I think, I would respect Rob Sand if he was like, you know what, we need publicly funded elections. They should only be publicly funded. But he can't really say that, considering he's, private funded.
Not from the position he's in now. Who knows? Once he wins, and he doesn't have to.
It just strikes me as just so disingenuous. I mean, it is disingenuous.
Really? Rob Sand disingenuous?
Yeah, I know.
All right. Like I said, I got to go to work today, so we should probably wrap things up. I can just mention this really quick. So, are the Come and Go gas stations near you? Are they all rebranding, Evan?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if we have any. I mean, there might be some, but I know that they're like rolling it out over weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely seen some rebranded ones, and I've heard some people not happy with the rebrands.
Yeah, they're all gradually, one by one, turning into Maverick gas stations because the Utah-based Maverick gas station company bought Come and Go, and they don't like the word "come," so they're turning them all into Maverick stores. So yeah, Maverick is slowly but surely taking over the state of Iowa, and I found some articles where people were talking about that, but we're going to skip over that for now and get to the real thing here. I got a New York Post article from last month, October 4th, by Chris Harris. Video shows Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, after gunning down conservative influencer in Utah. The man accused of assassinating conservative hero Charlie Kirk was caught on camera a day after the killing, gassing up his ride at a Utah filling station. In exclusive footage obtained by Fox News Digital, Tyler Robinson can be seen at a Maverick gas station going through the motions of fueling up. So, I mean, that's all I got to say, right? Maverick is invading Iowa, and they are the gas station of choice of this deranged assassin, Tyler Robinson. I mean, what is happening here in Iowa?
What, you think this guy did it? You think Tyler Robinson did it? I'm just kidding. I've seen people on the right and left claiming that he's like a patsy, which I don't buy it, but
no reason not to believe it though.
Yeah, people like their thought experiments.
Yeah. Why believe in anything? Why believe in anything that you read in the news anymore? Who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that it's important for people who believe in free speech in Iowa to resist the encroachment of Maverick in our state. Like, obviously, they thought it was okay to take this guy's money the day after he murdered our conservative hero. And I don't find that to be acceptable. I think we need to kick these people out of our state because we believe in freedom here in Iowa, and Maverick clearly does not.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Kyle Kraus, who was like, I didn't think they were going to do it. He's like, I didn't think they were going to rebrand.
He was the patriarch, right? The dad?
Yeah, he's the owner of Come and Go. Mm-hmm. But he's like, I sold it to them. They could do what they want.
And yeah, he totally sold it out from under his son, right? Like Tanner, I remember we talked about that on the podcast, but Tanner Kraus was like trying to really like improve what they had on offer and like their public image in the communities that they were present in. And then his dad just fucking sold it. And I'll say, like, it does seem like store conditions have gotten worse since the buyout.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I don't really make it a habit of going into gas stations.
Yeah.
But,
well, folks, it's very important though that we resist Maverick and their colonization of our favorite gas stations.
Casey's should, fight back and rebrand with their old logo. I mean, we've said this before.
Tradition.
We need to go back to
tradition.
tradition. Yeah, exactly. Common sense.
They do have a great opportunity here. The come and go that we all loved is going away. It is the perfect time to bring back the old Casey's logo. You're 100%. Totally right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Quickstar, I do think Quickstar is on the rise.
Yeah, people love Quickstar. But they're from like Wisconsin, which I don't know. I guess we have more. I'd rather support a Wisconsin-owned business than a Utah-owned business any day. I like Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a good
more
state.
Comfortable with that. Yeah.
Beautiful state. Beautiful people.
Well, listeners, it's time for us to go. Thank you for listening. I have a few things I'd like to plug before you shut this off, so please don't stop listening. There's a show happening tomorrow at Close House, Public Space 1 in Iowa City, November 10th. May and the Ladies and Basil Jones are on tour. New album by May and the Ladies. What's the album called? Inheritance. You can find that at mayandtheladies.bandcamp.com. And they'll be supported by local artists Lucky Man and Bird Labs. It's tomorrow night, November 10th. I'll be there running sound. Should be a great time. Come out and support these artists that are on tour. And you may have noticed that there's a different name on the poster now for local support, a different person than the person that I named last week when I plugged the show. And let me just say to you, don't worry about it. It's not of any concern.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just want to make a little joke about it, but not actually address it.
Right. That's good. That's a good idea.
And then later this month, on November 22nd, Wombat is playing our only show of 2025. Me on saxophone, Carlos Catayo Solaris on the guitar, Will Yeager on the bass. It's Wombat. You know us, you love us. And Dan Padley and Gabby Vanek will be playing as well. November 22nd at Trumpet Blossom. A good time.
Yes, I will be there.
Evan will be there.
Yes, I will.
We're making stickers, so if you come to the show, you can get a Wombat sticker.
Nice. I saw you plug at the new merch.
Mm-hmm.
You got t-shirts?
I don't know. I think it's just going to be stickers, but we will see.
Okay.
We will see. We're kind of crunched for time.
I would wear a Wombat t-shirt with the the 3 wombats. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if we manage to get shirts made,
you could sell at least one t-shirt.
Yeah.
I know that there's overhead involved in that, and
yeah, we're all busy, but we're trying to get merch ready. Okay. What else to plug? Our phone number 319-849-8733. If you believe in boycotting Maverick for what they did to Charlie Kirk, please call and express your support for this new movement we're launching today. 319-849-8733. We would love to hear from you. If you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon that you can subscribe to give money to the show. And in return for your money, you get more podcasts to listen to. Patreon.com/RockHardCaucus. We just finished reading Hardwired by Joseph Dobrian for Dobrain Book Club. That's 4 episodes reviewing a book. Each episode is about 2 hours long. So that means we talked about a book by a guy that you probably only know about because of our podcast for 8 hours. It's good stuff. And then the other night, Evan and Eden and I recorded a wrap-up episode because that 8 hours actually wasn't enough to discuss all of this book.
I was going to say, that might actually make it the shortest
it might
Dobrain Book Club series.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. And the wrap-up episode will be coming out in a few days on the 12th, this Wednesday. And there's a video for that one, so if you want to get on the video tier, you can watch a video. We're going to close with some music by May and the Ladies, who I mentioned are going to be playing in Iowa City tomorrow night, November 10th. This is their song, Dance With Me, by May and the Ladies. Again, you can find this at mayandtheladies.bandcamp.com. If you are a musician and you would like your music to be played on the podcast, please go to our website, rockhardcock.us. There's a link near the top. Go there now. All right, bye.
Bye.